Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of the bill. I'm certainly in favor of restoring some of the funding to education that was removed from the governor's proposal. I believe that those original proposals were too steep. But I think it's right in this bill to find that money elsewhere, and the Auditor General has led us directly over and over again to the right place, the Department of Public Welfare. The prior speaker indicated that by reducing funding to education, we are automatically going to be creating property tax increases in our local communities. I think all of us know that there isn't a direct correlation between state funding and property tax increases by our school districts, because in my community, even when state funding was flush, property taxes continued to go up. I would like very briefly to go over our state balance sheet. In the last 8 years, spending has gone up by 40%, borrowing has gone up by 80%. People have been talking about how we have $1 billion, $500 million in some sort of a surplus, and $500 million projected next year. Well, we've got plenty of liabilities if those predictions come true. We don't have a single dollar in our rainy day fund. We owe $3.5 billion to the federal government for our unemployment compensation fund. People say we owe $3.5 billion for annual transportation costs because we've been underfunding that. We owe $850 million to the doctors when we took that money from the M-Care fund to balance the budget. And our pension liabilities are 25% underfunded. I've heard people say that the stimulus package worked. It doesn't sound to me, with that sort of a balance sheet, those liabilities, that the stimulus package worked. If we take a look back before this recession started, we know that Pennsylvania was 39th in the country at best in terms of job creation. We also know that Pennsylvania is about the 11th highest taxed state in the country. Now we are $3 billion in the hole. We don't have $3 billion in stimulus money. We have these huge liabilities, and we've got real work to do to get Pennsylvania to become a job-friendly state. It is our time here in this legislature to face those facts, to live within our means, and to plan for our future. I believe that we can do that if we focus on our core responsibilities, if we pay down these liabilities that we've racked up over the last several years, and if we retool our economy for the future. I know this is going to be difficult. I know it because I've done it myself. I was chairman of the Board of Supervisors in my home township 2 years ago when this recession hit, and we did not have stimulus dollars. We had to reduce our budget by 15%. It was tough, but it can be done, and the world does not come to an end. If you focus on your core responsibilities, you can get the job done, and there will be a brighter day. Someone else knows that. The family in Pennsylvania. Our taxpayers did not have stimulus dollars. They had to tighten their belts. They had to retool. They had to pay down their liabilities with less, and they had to plan for their future. We must, in this legislature, do that for those families because they expect it, they deserve it, and they demand it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.